Hi. Welcome to my YouTube channel, everybody. This is Sonia. I'm a content creator based in Toronto, Canada. And this is okay, like this. This is
This is who.
introduce yourself now.
Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Abby. No, can you see the standing that my dog is up to? She's right
Okay,
here.
so this is Sunday. Hi Luna. This is Sunday Sit Down with Sonia. And today we are discussing our muscle man. Please show us your muscle.
No,
Now cybersecurity
no.
influencer.
The word they're looking
Actually,
for is
thought
thought
leader.
leader. It's thought
Thought
leader.
leader is the
Yes.
actual word. Cybersecurity thought leader. So Bimbo is going to introduce himself and
Mhm.
tell us about his career journey, how he went from where muscle man in the world to where he is now as a cybersecurity thought leader, and some other juicy stuff. Okay, go ahead, Bimbo. Please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone. Like I said, welcome to my YouTube channel. Even if it's Sonia's YouTube channel, it's alright. We'll both share this glory.
It's ours.
Um, well, my name is Abimbola actually. Um, People who know me to the house, they call me Bimbo. At work, they refer to me as Abby, but I mean, I'm comfortable with either. Um, I consider myself a self-taught cybersecurity specialist. I take pride in being a self-starter. Usually, I would say that I am someone who prides himself as the champion of quality. I give voice to that quality, and I like to understand the expected outcome. I like to get context and then usually work within a team or independently. I'm comfortable with either to get the job done. Um, Being a self taught cybersecurity specialist during my self learning phase, because there's a point in life where you'll be confused about what you want to do next. I've done everything before. I used to work in before arriving in Canada. I used to work in an hotel. I was night duty manager. Um, what else did I do that was off? I used to work on TV. I did the
As
what's
what?
it called? I worked as a presenter before at DBN. Um, DBN that plays
Oh,
movie.
nice.
They showed the movie at from 11 o'clock after the news. I've done most things, not everything, most things. I actually studied mass communication. Um, I would say when I arrived in Canada, that's where you saw the warehouse part of my life. I listened to people who said you can't make it in this Canada without working in warehouse. And true to it, I think more than anything, just to be able to highlight the kind of situations that people will get themselves into, especially being an immigrant in a new country or a new immigrant in another country. It was mostly because I wanted to get T4 and
Okay.
renting houses that time required that you get a job. So I felt that peer pressure as well as being able to get a place to rent. That's why the muscle man in the warehouse came. I did not last long because it was not for me. I would say that,
How
but it
long did
was
you work there?
uh, a couple of days. But I did go back to the Wales. I went back to the Wales again after doing like a gig, work from home gig, when work from home was not a thing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I was transcribing videos for a company that was
Oh,
doing it
okay.
on behalf of YouTube. After that, I was able to break in to IT. I did have an IT background from Nigeria, but I was able to break into IT within Canada, I think in 90 days after landing. And I remember how excited I was. I was so excited. I was really pumped to get started, only for me to get into the workspace, and it was it was a different ball game from what I thought it would be. But that experience shaped me. It was the motivating factor really in becoming
Mhm.
and getting to where I am today. I'm not where I want to be, but definitely not where I used to be.
Okay. So wait, I wanted to ask you how did you get into IT? Like when did you decide you wanted to go into IT? Was it because of the money that you saw? Like was money a factor, like the earning capacity of IT people in the IT field, was that a factor for you to decide to change your career into IT? Or like had you always known that you would want to go into IT even from Nigeria? Like is that something you always thought of doing? And then what did you do to get into IT in that your first IT job? Did you have to do any courses or anything? What did you do?
I would like you to provide context. Are you saying this from Nigeria or from here? Because I was in IT in Nigeria
Oh, you're in
before
IT in
coming
Nigeria.
before
Okay,
coming
so
to Canada.
you always knew that. So if you were in IT Nigeria, you probably knew that you're gonna also do it here, right?
Yeah, I was certain, but while in Nigeria, before joining IT or crossing into IT, I was in the broadcast industry. I was basically everywhere. I was on DBN in the morning, and in the afternoon on my way home, I'll stop by for the sports show that they do around 2 o'clock Nigerian time, to feature as an analyst on the show. And I got to that point where I realized there's no money here. I swear.
Money was definitely a driving factor.
So yes, that is the answer to
So did
the
you do
A part of your
anything in
question.
preparation? Like when you
To
once you
move
knew you were
into IT.
coming here, yeah. When you knew you were coming here,
Mhm.
did you do anything preparation in Nigeria first to move
Not
into
much.
IT?
Not much. I did not.
Okay, so it's when you got here, you now
Yes.
started doing stuff, right? And how was
Right.
that for you? Like starting when getting here, because I know a lot of people ask me like they're not sure, they're like waiting to come to Canada. They're
Hmm.
maybe they've done their express entry application, they're waiting to come, and then they're trying to figure out what they want to do when they're here, because what
Right.
they're doing in Nigeria is not something they feel they want to continue doing here. And so they're trying to figure out what's best for them, and I really don't even know how to advise people sometimes. Like, sometimes it's good to see if you can look into some of the jobs that you think you may have interest in and be sure that you actually want to continue with it. I actually looked into cybersecurity. When I looked at a lot of them, I was like, nah, bro, money is good, but it's not for me.
That's the thing about cybersecurity. In retrospect, thinking about it, I mean, it might sound like a tautology, but then again, I feel like I could have prepared more
Mhm,
in terms of crossing earlier into cybersecurity. Um, for those who are at a crossroads
mhm,
of deciding what they need to do versus um, the expectation in Canada, I would say first follow the money.
mhm,
I mean, their mileage may vary. What worked for me might not necessarily work for them. I would say that if they are coming to Ontario, of course, Ontario is like a hotbed of IT jobs,
mhm,
right? So research what you want to do, and for you, in terms of what you said about cybersecurity, there's an opportunity for everyone in cybersecurity. You don't have to um, be someone who studied computer engineering or someone who studied sciences to be able to fit into IT. Take
Funny enough, I even did. But continue.
for example, I studied mass communication, and I say to anyone and everyone that cares to listen, if I had studied mass comm and I'm able to transit to this stage of my career, anyone can do it. It's not
You
rocket
need
science.
determination, right? Yeah.
Exactly. You need the grit. You need to be able to put in the hard work. Funny enough, so I was looking, you knew my stint about when I was studying for that
Mm-hmm.
CISSP certification, and I was looking through my gallery yesterday. I saw a picture where um, I think it was Obi that took the picture. I slept off, and uh, I saw the picture there. I'm like, oh wow, those were the days. But again, again, it was really it's really important for you to be able to research properly and say this is the field I want to
Yeah.
excel in. Pick that field, and I'm sure it will happen in no time. And I say no time not because there's no journey behind that time. There's going to be journey. Don't let anybody kid you. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be challenging, but that determination to follow the money. Once you follow the money, then you can build your passion. But first, let the money let the money, let the money motivate you. But all jokes aside, is there's no field that you cannot excel in. And one of the mottos, former what's it called, tagline of Ontario was yours to discover. Now it's open for business, but Ontario is yours to discover, right? And they're giving you all of the platform for you to succeed. Do you want to succeed? Is the question that you should be asking yourself. So um,
So what
it,
did you
it,
do? Okay, sorry, continue.
it goes without saying that in terms of what to um, start with, research first regarding the what's it called, the role that you want to get started in, and then follow it through.
Yeah, I was telling someone that once you research on what possible roles you feel you could be interested in, go to LinkedIn, look at people that work in those roles, maybe look at certifications they've gotten or stuff they've done or the skills they say they have,
Right.
and try to build your own like portfolio to have like those skills and stuff, is a guide to, because some people don't even know where to start. So it's like, okay, at least if you know someone that has done this, even if you don't know the person personally from LinkedIn, you can either connect to the person or you could just go through different LinkedIn profiles and see what the people in the role you want have and are doing, and try and see if you can tap into some of those things they've done. So
Hmm.
your first IT job in Canada, so
Yeah.
after the warehouse you did working from home, you went back to warehouse, then you came into IT.
Hmm.
So what was your first IT job?
It was software testing. It was the same thing I was doing in Nigeria. I
Okay,
was doing
like
software testing.
what they call those things?
Quality, yeah,
Yeah,
quality assurance.
quality. Yeah, okay,
But the specialty I had here in Canada was performance testing. And one of the reason why that particular role is challenging is many people that want that role,
yeah. Hmm.
they want it, but they don't understand it. So it's really a challenge breaking down your findings, your results to them. And one of the valuable skills that I learned was being able to translate technical jargons into simple English for
Hmm.
many stakeholders. So that skill has stuck with me ever since.
So did you have to do anything to get? Did you have to do any certifications, anything to get that job, or it was based on your prior experience that you got that?
Um, I would say so. When I got here, to answer your question directly, no, but I did do Scrum Master certification, and I would say that that kind of enhanced my profile um,
Hmm.
on the job boards. When I applied for that job, I'd given up. I was thinking of. I'd signed up for a school. I was thinking of maybe doing food delivery at some point. I was really frustrated. I was at the crossroad, but I kept on pushing. And the reason for my frustration was largely my fault. I was not um, modifying my resumes. to fit the job
Job,
description.
yeah.
So, like I said, in retrospect, if I think about it now, there are things I could have done better with the knowledge that I have now. So, and it's part of the reason why I mentor people who are new to quality assurance so that they won't have to make the same mistakes that I made. And it would be that they are running based on the kind of information I provided for them and the guidance. That being said, going back to the Scrum Master certification I took, um, yeah, like I mentioned, it did help. And when I applied to that job, I applied as an intern. It was at the interview process that they got the opportunity to see what I'm all about, and they said, "Why are you applying as an intern? You are more qualified than this role. We would upgrade you." And I've not looked back since then.
Say
The
great.
rest, the rest they say was or is history. So, um, in terms of what you need to do, I would say for anyone new to, or even if you're coming fresh out of Nigeria with QA experience, I would say get certified. The value certification here more than education, proper education, because what you are doing, someone who probably went to college or maybe high school can do it as well. What sets you apart from them is the fact that you have
You understand the principles and stuff which
rights.
certification tests you on.
And also as Nigerians or immigrants from Nigeria, one thing that we usually would have over many is the fact that we understand processes. It's kind of innate. You can be in a situation and be able to see from a different point of view. So your diversity helps you to see things in a different light, which contributes to you knowing and improving the process, which was one of the things I brought to the table back then.
Okay. So after that, you went straight into cybersecurity. Was your next job?
Cybersecurity found me.
It found you.
I
Okay.
was not looking for cybersecurity.
So please expand on how cybersecurity found you.
Okay, I got frustrated at some point during my time at that QA job, and I started to apply to roles. And funny enough, I did not care. I just wanted to leave that role because of how um, toxic the work environment was. Not the job, not the role itself, but just the team members I had back then. It wasn't my style at all. And at the end of the day, I kept on applying. A recruiter reached out to me and then like, can you do this? True to it, yes, I can. I just did not know that that was what it was called because my previous role in Nigeria, the QA role, I was at that role for 7 years, and I grew into that role from knowing nothing
Nothing about it.
about QA, and basically that's why I pride myself as being self-taught.
Self-taught.
Yeah, so that kind of, and I did everything at that role. And I have a running joke with my former colleague that the only thing that we did not do was we were not drivers, we were not cleaners, we were not cook, but we did everything. We were business analysts, we were project managers, product owners, we were testers, we were sales, we were business development, everything we did. And going back to how cybersecurity found me, so I applied, I cast a wide net, and this time around I didn't focus on full-time role because I just did not care anymore. I just wanted to leave. So I was applying to contracts, and the recruiter reached out to me sometime in June of 2019, I believe. And that was the beginning. The person said, "Oh, do you want to do performance testing?" I'm like, maybe. Okay. And then the person came back said, "You know what? I think we'll put you in for security." Like, okay, I can do that too. And I said that nonchalantly. I wasn't really paying attention.
Confident, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that was how it started. I got an interview. It was over the phone. I didn't have to go in. It was one of the Fortune 500 companies. And I think more than anything, away from whether I could do the job or not, it was my ability to um, nail interviews, mastering the art of interviews that helped me. So I was hitting on the keywords that I know that the person wanted to hear, and I got the job in an hour.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So, like I said, not everyone would get to that point. I was able to um, realize the things I was doing wrong out of desperation.
Mm-hmm.
If it was another role, I probably would have landed the job as well because I was desperate and needed a way out more than anything.
Maybe we need to have you back to discuss interview, like how to nail your interviews. But yeah,
I'll say mastering the art of
mastering the art
interviewing.
of interviewing. Maybe we need to have you back for that. But yeah,
Yeah,
now.
because it's an ongoing skill.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also improving on it every day. From time to time, I test my employability.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. So I'm not going to say how, but I do.
So with the mentoring, tell us a little about that. So you mentor people now
Yes,
in both Q&A and cybersecurity,
in
or
both
just
quality assurance and cybersecurity. Yes.
okay? So guys, are you listening? When you watch this, if you need the contacts, you have to come through me. That's okay. But
Yes.
Twitter is there too, but that comes from me. I can put in a good word for you if you want me to mentor you in
I
quality
mean,
assurance.
mentorship is about giving and taking. You want to be in that space where you want it as well. It's not because you heard it, it sounds good. The Your mileage varies for sure. Don't expect that because person A got success in
Mm-hmm.
6 months and person B comes and is successful in say 2 months. It might not be the same for you as well. So you have to be willing to put in the shift.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Um. So, do you do anything on the side, like apart from your cyber? Okay, you said you mentor, so that's something you do on the side. Is that something
Mhm.
that you get paid for, or you just do it as volunteering, like a Big Brother kind of
Big brother, I'm not
not,
sure. I'm
not
not
Big
sure.
Brother Nigeria.
I'm not sure. I'm just a small boy that live down the road. But no, I don't get paid for mentoring. It's just my way of giving back. I see it as one of the things that I want people to pay forward. You don't have to seek to pay me back for doing that. Pay it
Mm-hmm.
forward, mentor other people,
Mm-hmm.
help other people to grow as well.
Yeah, if you teach people how to fish,
Mm.
then they can catch fish for themselves. They can feed themselves. I don't know that saying, but yeah, it's always good to like share knowledge. I like sharing knowledge as much as I can from experience, from what I know. Sometimes I don't even know it, but people come and ask me and where they could have found it, or they won't go and look for it. I'll go and they want to look for it for them and tell them because I don't know. People are different. Some people don't know how to assimilate information to make sense for them. So
I think it's mostly because of the way we grew up culturally. In Nigeria, I'm not knocking Nigeria, but the way we were taught, it was to cram,
mm,
just regurgitate what you're giving during the class, as against being analytical and methodological,
yeah, methodological method.
whatever.
Yeah.
Analytical when you're faced with issues, and I think that more often than not, we that's the culture shock that we run into as
Here.
immigrants in the workspace here, right? When you're faced with no other choice than to be analytical, then we say, oh wow, life is so different here. if,
Yeah,
if
you have to
only you
think
can
on
see
your
it.
feet, have to find
Exactly.
solutions without anybody really giving you a clear cut way to
do something, you have to be able to do your research. Like something I even said in my interview to get this job that I'm working at now. I was like, I don't like to say I don't really know anything till I've actually researched and checked my favorite place, Google, for
Mm-hmm.
it. If after checking and looking through and I still don't understand it, then before I can tell you I don't know it,
Mm-hmm.
explain it to me. But I won't first say I don't know. I'm just like, when you tell me, I'm like, I'll look into that. And then I do my research.
I
I used to
agree.
do it even in Nigeria. My boss is telling me something. You just be talking, if you say some things, I don't even know what he's saying. My laptop is always in front of me when I'm with him. So I was just Googling. I was like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That, and not, based on what I'm reading, right? So
I agree.
you
And
have to be quick like that.
fun fact, I've learned to unlearn how to say I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, you usually will not know because you've not
You've not
needed.
looked into it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So I would say, oh, if it's really important, we can look into it together. You
Mm-hmm.
are inviting the person to that brainstorming session in quotes. So more than anything is really helpful. I see every question as, I mean, I've grown in before. I'm the typical Nigerian that I don't like confrontational questions in quotes.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask me like, why is something like this, I take a pee and it will be me being defensive. But I think I'm learning all this while to accept that there would always be situations where someone will challenge your product, your output, your deliverable, and
Mm-hmm.
especially being in the software development world, you would understand that questions will come and it would look like they're attacking your person, but they're not attacking you. So I
Mm-hmm.
get what you're trying to say as well.
So, do you do any businesses? Do you have any side gigs that make money from?
Make money. I
Or
have a
planning or things that are in the works?
yes, I have a startup that I co-founded. Not my idea.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't my idea, but me and my co-founder that are uh, helping to bring that idea to life. So he gave me the idea. My role is to run with the idea and
Mm-hmm.
birth the idea. So
Idea.
exactly, we're both co-founders on the or in the startup, as the case may be. So in terms of profit, not so much. The typical startup process. Uh, this time around, we've been bootstrapping. We did try and raise some money. We actually got funding, but we've
Mhm.
not touched the funding.
Okay. So you
We've been
haven't
boot-
fully launched yet.
yes, we've not. We were close to launching twice already, but the challenges that we're facing is mostly because of where we're from.
Oh, I see.
I would just peg it at that, and we're doing all in our power to um, change the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Um, more so that we will be new players in this space.
Mm-hmm.
We're helping to define the rules of engagement within this space, and basically, we will be trailblazers in this space,
Mm-hmm.
if you get what I mean. So we're helping to set the rules. We're currently undergoing background check, and hopefully, sooner rather than later, we would get that chance to launch. But I think in launching or after we get to that point, it will be invite only, and this would help the as part of our KYC. Let's
Okay.
put it that way.
So, apart from work, your startup that you're working on, how's family life? How's juggling all these things? You with Luna, I believe you're a new parent. You're a dog parent. Now you're a person parent. And you are still your husband, so you have many roles to play. And how has it been juggling all those things?
I
so
think
far.
I think if I don't have the capacity, I don't think I'll have taken on these things. So I'm able to expand to be able to accommodate these things. I would say sometimes I just feel like hopping and running away from all of it. But again, how do you tell that you've grown? Or how do you tell you're an adult if you don't stay, you know?
So what are your best tips for like um keeping yourself in order? Like, do you have to do lists? Do you have schedules? Do you actually like create like a schedule where you're like, okay, I'm doing this at this time, or doing like how do you keep yourself in on track in all these things?
I used to do that before where I would have like a to-do list. But now what I do is still the same, but mental. I don't try and force it. I don't try and force the initiative by writing it down.
Mm-hmm.
I I what I do now is make a mental notes, put it in perspective, and say if I don't finish this, and I won't move on to the next thing. But as a word as an something I've developed is if I'm spending up to 2 hours doing something, I usually will reach out for help and say,
Okay.
is there anyone that can? Because spending the entire day trying to get around
Tackle one thing, right?
issues that someone had probably worked on in the past is counterintuitive. So I will reach out for help in my network and say, guys, have you encountered this before? Uh, Usually, for most part, I would do that for work related stuff. But these days, I'm learning to reach out for help for
Yeah,
life related issues as well.
definitely. It's necessary because no one is an island. We all need each other, and it's good to be useful to other people and for people to be useful to you, right? I
Hmm.
always tell people that, like, don't look at it as someone, like, I don't even feel like people should look at it as they're trying to use someone, right? Some people are just giving of
Right.
their resources.
Hmm.
And, someone like me, I love to be useful to people. As long as I care about you in some way, I want to be useful to you however I can.
Right.
So if you think you're one upping me, that one is your own business. But yeah, it's very good to compartmentalize, try to arrange yourself and try to know. Before I'm a big DIY person, so I like to do a lot of things myself. But I started learning, especially after becoming a parent, that it's not something that's sustainable in life
No,
to do
you
everything
can't do
yourself.
it all.
You have to really outsource a lot of things as much as you can. I
Hmm.
take off stress as much where possible. If it's grocery shop, I personally don't like shopping for anything,
Right.
nothing at all. I don't like
Right.
the act of going shopping. So if I can pay someone to shop for me,
Hmm.
it's better. Even having to go online and pick the things self is stress. But I just try to take note of it. Like as I'm passing in the house, maybe I'm doing something now, I see this thing is not there. I just take note of it right then, because if I wait till when I want to actually go shopping, I will forget that thing is not there. So I have to be taking notes. So getting older with more responsibilities, your brain
Right.
is not functioning the same way. But yeah, do you have like things you do for self care, hobbies and stuff, interests that motivate you, that keep you going, that keep you pumped, apart from like that doesn't feel like work, but that you have interest in, that you just like and just keeps you going, keeps gives you a mojo.
Before it used to be the gym. We used to be able to work out. I tried this workout at home, but it's hard to keep up with. Um, so what I do now, I run with my dog as often as I can.
Mhm.
And some days that I can't run, I try and walk for longer. So if it's running, it will be maybe 3 kilometers, and that will be it. But if it's going to be walking, maybe I'll go double of that,
Mhm.
maybe like 6 kilometers. Um, what else? I play FIFA. competitively. I play every day. I try not to spend more than 2 hours playing. But you probably wonder, how do I keep up with all of this? I don't know myself, but I know that I keep up. What else do I do? Um,
Okay, that's great. So, um, what do you have any advice, tips, quotes that you can give the people watching and people that will watch about like changing careers, moving, and then trying to stay on track with everything, or
mhm,
what they can start trying to unlearn?
a lot, a
Just
lot.
like give us your top five, maybe.
Top five. Your mileage may vary. First and foremost, understand that everyone has their race. Um,
So don't
it
be
works for
comparing yourself, yeah.
it works for Sonia does not mean it will work for Bimbo. Um, what is really important in changing careers? I know it can be really scary, but not everything is IT, and because of that, it means that you need to be really careful. The um, the roles that you pick out. You know, these days it's about working smart
Mm-hmm.
rather than working hard. Even myself, I'm looking for working smart roles. I don't want to work hard again. But then again, what is important, the number one tip I would share is lean on your strengths. You know yourself better than anyone. So if not for anything, use that strength to your advantage, especially career wise. Um, what else? DIY. Learn how to DIY yourself. I mean, learn how to do it yourself, especially for most things in the house. You will save yourself a lot of money. Um, once you cross that, are we addressing new immigrants or old immigrants here?
Both. And then you answer this question that's on the screen. Excuse me,
Sure.
keep talking.
Yeah, sure, I will. One more thing I would like to throw in there is, if not for anything, always look out for the next big thing. There's always something happening. Keep yourself abreast of the information of the happenings around you, and learn financial freedom, learn financial tips, learn how to invest, because in North America, savings, keeping money in savings account is useless. It's a huge scam. So learn how to invest your money.
That's the one
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn. Oh. I think that's one reason that I can decide to have a long term partner. Just so that they can be the one to handle that thing, because there are
Learn
just
how
some
to.
things I accept that I don't know everything and I cannot know everything. And like even if I can't have a long term partner, let me have someone that has my best interest at heart that will help me based on that part, because it's only me. I have no clue. I've tried, but I can't. But yeah, I'll keep trying. I'm trying
The
to.
last,
I got my first dividend the other day.
yeah. I mean, compound interest is mind blowing. I mean, it might look small on the surface, but when you add it up, it's marvelous. It's marvelous. And one more thing I would like to add is, align yourself
You're breaking up. You say what?
with the right network.
Hello. Is it just me or did Bimbo freeze? Bimbo, I think you're frozen.
Sorry,
Are you back?
it went blank for a big chicken.
Oh yeah, you were frozen here too. Are you
Really?
back?
I never left.
Oh,
I
I
was,
don't
I
know why
was
you're frozen here. Maybe it's my internet. I don't know, but it
it
was
showed me something about the internet connection as well. Anyway, the last thing is, your network is really important. Learn to separate your professional life from your personal life. There's a really thin line these days, especially with work from home, and the kind of people that you surround yourself with. Um, they used to say this thing back then, and show me your friends, and I'll tell you who you are. It's the same thing about your network. Show me your network, and it will determine how far you'll go in life. So, for every first set of your life, have the right set of people that would help guide you. Usually, people who are better than you in that space, so that you can obviously become better and also help other people. So, that's the last one I would drop. And those are the top five that
Fine.
I live by.
Please answer
Um,
this question quickly
Share
for
tips on how
Supernova.
to blast CSSP. I would say that never underestimate um, practice questions. I'm 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 not promoting bosun, but I would say bosun is really good in trying in. I'm not saying the questions were the same. I'm just saying that the way the questions were structured with bosun, it helped me to approach the exam confidently. When I was doing the exam, when I was writing the exam, I thought I'd failed. When I finished, I'm like, please let me carry my L and be going home. But alas, I saw that I passed. And one more thing, everyone will say read the 1,000 pages book, but I did it counterclock counterclockwise. What I did first was to read all of the summary first, have an idea of what each chapter
Chapter
was
was
about.
talking about. Mhm.
Yes, and then from there I approached the 1,000 pages book. It's actually 1,200. So, I mean, for you might say, "Oh, yeah, attacking the book first," but um, more often than not, find and understand your learning style. It would go a long way in helping you to know how to approach the exam. And you must read the book. There's no two ways about it.
He was just asking who is Bosun. Bosun. Bosun.
Oh, Boson, Boston. No,
Boson. Is that where
yeah.
you get the past questions from?
Oh no, that's the yeah. It's a dump. Boson SSP. Yeah, but boson.com. Is there a chat box here?
Yeah, there
Yeah.
should be. Or
Okay.
maybe open it on YouTube. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see the chat box.
Mm,
You should be able to see. Maybe you go to more. You put it in private chat.
oh, sorry.
Let me see if I can copy it and paste it in the main chat. Post comments. Do you see that option?
No, I can't post comments.
Okay, let me post it. So Supernova, that's the site where you can get the past questions, right?
Correct.
Okay.
It's about $100, so it's quite pricey, but
It's
it's
about
worth
$100, but it's worth it. It's necessary,
it's
right?
worth every question that you find there.
Okay. Thank you for that. I don't know if anybody else that's watching has any more questions. If not, we can call it a day.
Yep.
And thank you so much. If they have questions, if you guys have questions, just leave it in the comments and then I will have Bimbo look through the video later and answer. If you have any more questions for him, leave it in the comments and he will look through it later and answer the questions himself. And so, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Bimbo, for joining me today and sharing all these tips, giving us from your wealth of knowledge.
As an influencer.
From like changing
Thank you.
careers and just life in general.
Thank you so much. I mean, please reach out if you have any questions, comments. Thank you for watching my channel.
Thank you for watching our channel, co-host.
Thank you. I used to do this before, but I've never done something on YouTube before, so I'm not new to being in front of the camera.
Presenting and stuff. Neither am I. I used to do when I was a kid too. I used to be a TV person when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I don't know why it took me so long to start it. I should have started it since I would have known by now. But when I was still young and fresh and creative.
Right.
But yeah, I'm doing it now. Never too late to start.
Awesome. It's all right.
Yeah, and I'm having fun with it, so we thank God.
Exactly. That's what's important, right?
Yeah,
So,
and I get to talk to people like you every Sunday.
oh please, oh please. I just, like I said, I'm just a small boy living down the road.
I'm going to get somebody very random to talk on this channel one day that nobody really knows. But you see, they say you inspire a lot of people.
Me.
Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Tell your friends to subscribe. Let your friends know about Sunday Sit Down with Sonia, where we talk about different things. Next week's topic is going to be very interesting. It's not going to be about anyone's career journey or all these things. It's just going to be a very interesting gist topic. I'm not going to tell you now. They have to come back on Sunday and find out what that gist topic is.
We'll be waiting for the juicy, the juiciness in that gist.
All right then. Bye guys.
All right.
Have a nice Sunday.
All right. Bye.